The unknown contact, the monitoring station, orbited at the edge of Zephyrian space, like a silent sentinel, its crystalline sensors sweeping the void for any unauthorized intrusions. For 3 centuries, the Zephyrian Empire had maintained perfect order across 14 star systems. Every ship, every signal, every quantum fluctuation was catalogued, registered, and filed away in their vast databases. Nothing moved through their territory without permission. That changed on the 7th day of the harvest season. Operator Thixful noticed at first faint blip on the long-range sensors that shouldn't exist. The signal was clean, purposeful, and completely unregistered. No identification codes, no diplomatic clearance, no entry in their galactic registry. In the Empire's perfectly ordered universe, this was impossible. Supervisor Nextall, Thixful called across the sterile white. Command Center. We have an unidentified contact approaching Sector 7. Supervisor Nextall, a tall Zephyrian with the characteristic blue-tinted skin and elongated cranium, glided over to the detection console. His 4 eyes focused on the readout with growing concern. Run a full spectrum analysis. Check all databases. Twice, the analysis came back within minutes. The signal belonged to no known species in their records. No Zephyrian vessel, no allied race, no rebellious faction. It was as if something had materialized from the void itself. Impossible, Nextall muttered. Nothing exists outside our records. Send an immediate alert to Admiral Kexther. Admiral Kexther received the transmission in his flagship's war room, surrounded by tactical displays showing the Empire's vast military might. The Admiral was a veteran of a dozen conflicts, his scarred hide bearing testament to years of maintaining Imperial order. When the alert reached him, his primary eyes narrowed dangerously. An unregistered signal? He growled to his aide. Have our sensors malfunctioned? Negative, Admiral. Multiple stations confirm the contact. It's real, and it's heading deeper into our territory. Kexther studied the tactical display. The unknown contact was moving at sublight speed, making no attempt to hide its presence. Either it was supremely confident or completely ignorant of Imperial law. Neither possibility pleased him. Deploy Investigation Fleet 7, he ordered. Captain Velinara will lead. Standard first contact protocols, but maintain full combat readiness. If this unknown vessel represents a threat, eliminate it. Captain Velinara was considered one of the Empire's most capable officers. Unlike many of her peers, she combined military precision with scientific curiosity. When she received her orders, she felt a mixture of excitement and caution. In her 40 years of service, she had never encountered anything truly unknown. Her fleet consisted of 6 patrol cruisers and 2 heavy destroyers, more than enough firepower to handle any conceivable threat. As they approached the coordinates, Velinara studied the sensor readings with growing puzzlement. The vessel's energy signature is unlike anything in our database, reported her science officer, Kilmish. It appears to be generating some form of adaptive shielding. Adaptive shielding? Velinara's head tilted in confusion. Explain. The energy patterns keep shifting, as if the shields are learning and evolving in real time. I've never seen technology like this. Before Velinara could respond, the unknown vessel appeared on their main screen. It was smaller than their cruisers, but sleek and purposeful in design. Unlike the flowing organic curves of Zephyrian ships, this vessel had angular lines and what appeared to be rotating sections along its hull. Unknown vessel, Velinara transmitted on all frequencies. You are in violation of Imperial space. Identify yourself immediately and prepare to be boarded. The response came in clear, unaccented Zephyrian. This is Captain Sarah Martinez of the human vessel, Phoenix Dawn. We come in peace, seeking diplomatic contact with your empire. We had no knowledge that this region was restricted space. Velinara, exchanged glances with her bridge crew. Human? She had never heard of such a species. Captain Martinez, there is no record of humans in our galactic database. State your planet of origin and registration authority. A pause, then. We originate from Earth, in what you might call the Sol system. We're explorers, seeking to establish peaceful contact with other civilizations. We apologize for any territorial violation. Sol system? Kilmish quickly ran the name through their star charts. Captain, there is no Sol system in our astronomical records. These beings claim to be from a place that doesn't exist. Velinara felt a chill. In the Empire's ordered universe, things that didn't exist were dangerous by definition. Human vessel, you will submit to immediate boarding and inspection. Any resistance will be met with force. Captain, came the human voice, and Velinara detected something new in the tone: disappointment rather than fear. We had hoped for a more diplomatic introduction. However, we cannot allow our vessel to be boarded by an unknown military force. We must respectfully decline. You decline? Velinara's voice rose in disbelief. You are outnumbered 8-1. By Imperial warships. You have no choice in this matter. What happened next would be debated in Imperial military academies for generations to come. The human ship's hull sections began rotating faster, and its energy signature spiked dramatically. Instead of fleeing or surrendering, it moved directly toward the Imperial fleet at impossible speed. Evasive maneuvers. Velinara shouted, but it was too late. The Phoenix Dawn didn't fire conventional weapons. Instead, it released a cascade of devices that looked like metallic seeds. These devices spread throughout the Imperial formation, attaching themselves to hull plating and shield generators. What are those things? Velinara demanded. Kilmish. Sensors were going crazy. They single quotes learning, Captain. Each device is scanning our systems and transmitting data back to the human ship. Our shields are being analyzed in real time. Before anyone could react, the devices activated. Instead of explosions, they generated precisely tuned energy pulses that somehow passed right through Imperial shields as if they weren't there. Every Zephyrian ship found its weapon systems disabled, engines offline, and life support switched to emergency power. The Phoenix Dawn came to a stop in the center of the disabled Imperial fleet, completely undamaged. This is Captain Martinez. Again, the human voice transmitted calmly. We have disabled your weapons and engines, but left your life support intact. No one has been harmed. We did this to demonstrate that we are not defenseless, but also that we have no intention of causing unnecessary casualties. Velinara sat in her command chair, stunned. Her entire fleet had been neutralized in less than 3 minutes by a single ship from a species that supposedly didn't exist. How? She whispered. Our technology is based on adaptation and learning, Martinez explained, as if she had heard the question. When you scan us, we scan you back. When you show us your weapons, we learn to counter them. When you reveal your tactics, we develop responses. It's not superior firepower, Captain, it's superior adaptability. Dr. James Chun, the Phoenix Dawn's chief scientist, looked up from his console. Sarah, we're reading massive distress signals from their fleet. Should we restore their systems? Captain Martinez nodded. Transmit the restoration codes. We've made our point. One by one, the Imperial ships came back online. Weapons systems activated, engines hummed to life, and shields restored to full power. The humans had given back everything they had taken, demonstrating both their capability and their restraint. Why? Velinara transmitted. Why restore our systems? We could attack you again. Because, Martinez replied, we're not here to conquer or destroy. We're here to explore and learn. Today, we learned about your Empire's military capabilities. In return, we showed you ours. Perhaps next time we meet, it can be as friends rather than adversaries. The Phoenix Dawn began to move away from the Imperial fleet, but not before transmitting a final message. Captain Velanara, we would welcome the opportunity to meet with your diplomatic representatives under more peaceful circumstances. The universe is vast enough for all of us to share. As the human ship disappeared into hyperspace, Velanara found herself staring at empty space, her mind reeling. In 3 centuries of Imperial expansion, nothing like this had ever happened. A species that didn't exist in their records had appeared from nowhere, neutralized an entire fleet without firing a shot, and then simply left. Back on the Phoenix Dawn, Captain Martinez stood on the bridge looking at the star charts. Her crew had performed admirably, but she knew this was just the beginning. Dr. Chun, what's your assessment of their technology level? A scientist adjusted, his glasses thoughtfully. Impressive in many ways, but rigid. Their systems are powerful, but predictable. They seem to rely on overwhelming force rather than innovation. With the right approach, I think we could establish a meaningful dialogue. And their society? Military hierarchy, extensive bureaucracy, everything registered and cataloged. They're probably struggling to comprehend how we can exist outside their system of records. Martinez smiled. Then let's give them something really challenging to think about. Set course for the next system. If there's one Imperial fleet, there are bound to be more. And next time, maybe we can skip the demonstration and move straight to the conversation. As the Phoenix Dawn jumped to hyperspace, its crew began preparing for the next phase of their mission. They had come to explore the galaxy and seek out new civilizations. What they had found was an empire that had forgotten how to handle the unknown. Back in Imperial space, Captain Velanara composed her report to Admiral Kexther. How could she explain that a single ship from an unregistered species had outmaneuvered an entire fleet? How could she describe technology that learned and adapted in real time? How could she recommend responding to beings who demonstrated both overwhelming capability and surprising restraint? As she sealed the transmission, Velanara realized that the Empire's greatest challenge wasn't military or technological, it was conceptual. For 3 centuries, they had believed their records contained everything worth knowing. The humans had proven that assumption catastrophically wrong. The unknown had returned to the galaxy, and the Empire was unprepared for it. Asterisk, the Empire's dilemma, Admiral. Kexther read Captain Velanara's report 3 times before allowing himself to believe it. In the Empire's sterile command center, surrounded by the accumulated military wisdom of 3 centuries, he found himself confronting the impossible. They neutralized 8 warships without firing a shot? He asked his assembled war council. According to Captain Velanara's detailed sensor logs, yes, sir, replied Intelligence Chief Morthak. The devices they deployed somehow bypassed our shields entirely. Our best scientists are analyzing the data, but preliminary reports suggest technology far beyond our current understanding. Admiral Kexther's 4 eyes swept across the tactical displays, showing Imperial fleet positions throughout their territory. Thousands of ships, all following predictable patterns, all relying on the same fundamental technologies that had served them for generations. And there's no record of these humans anywhere in our databases? None whatsoever, Admiral. No species matching their description, no stellar cartography for their claimed system of origin, no previous contact reports. It's as if they materialized from nothing. General Yxanordi, the Empire's chief strategist, leaned forward in his chair. Sir, I've run tactical simulations based on Captain Velanara's data. If this human technology can adapt to our weapons and defenses in real time, traditional military responses may be ineffective. The War Council fell silent. In the Empire's ordered universe, military solutions existed for every problem. The concept of a threat that couldn't be overwhelmed by superior firepower was alien to their thinking. Recommendations? Kexler asked. Tersely, deploy a larger fleet, suggested Fleet Commander Dex Lara. If one ship defeated 8 vessels, send 80. Even adaptive technology must have limits. Intelligence Chief Morthic disagreed. Sir, that assumes we understand their capabilities. Captain Velinara's report suggests their technology learns from exposure. A larger fleet might simply provide them with more data to analyze. Then, what do you suggest? Kexler's voice carried a dangerous edge. Contact the humans directly. Open diplomatic channels. Learn their intentions before assuming hostile intent. The suggestion sent ripples of unease through the War Council. The Empire's first contact protocols had been developed for dealing with primitive species or established civilizations within their sphere of influence. They had no framework for addressing an apparently advanced species from outside their known galaxy. Before the debate could continue, alarms began blaring throughout. The command center. Communications Officer Plexvia's hands flew across her console as urgent signals flooded their networks. Admiral! Multiple contacts in Sector 12. Same energy signatures as the previous human vessel. Kexler's primary eyes focused on the main display as new tactical data appeared. 3 human ships had emerged from hyperspace near the Empire's primary research station. Unlike the previous encounter, these vessels were not alone. They were escorting what appeared to be a massive exploration ship. Analysis? Kexler demanded. The escort vessels matched the configuration of the ship that disabled Fleet 7, reported Morthek. The larger vessel appears to be some kind of mobile research platform. They're conducting deep scans of everything in the system. Are they attacking? Negative, sir. They single quotes exploring, cataloging stellar phenomena, taking readings of our research station, but making no aggressive moves. Admiral Kexler found himself in an unprecedented situation. The Empire's protocols called for immediate military response to any unauthorized incursion, but the previous encounter had demonstrated the futility of conventional tactics against human technology. Open a channel to the lead vessel, he ordered. Main screen flickered and displayed the interior of a human bridge. A woman in a dark blue uniform looked back at them with curious, intelligent eyes. Behind her, Kexler could see other humans working at stations, covered with displays showing Imperial ship configurations and tactical data. I am Admiral Kexler of the Zephyrian Imperial Fleet, he began formally. You are in violation of restricted space. The human woman smiled an expression that somehow conveyed both friendliness and confidence. Admiral, I'm Dr. Lisa Park, Mission Commander of the human exploration vessel Endeavor. We apologize for any territorial concerns, but we're conducting peaceful scientific research. Your star system contains some fascinating gravitational anomalies. Doctor, your ships are equipped with military-grade weapons and defensive systems. This hardly appears to be a purely scientific mission. Dr. Park nodded. True, but we've learned that first contact situations can be unpredictable. Our escort vessels are here for protection, not aggression. I understand your Captain Velinara encountered one of our ships recently. We regret any misunderstanding that occurred. General Yxanorti leaned toward Kexler. Admiral, they're studying our research station. They could be gathering intelligence on our technology. Dr. Park apparently heard the comment. General, we're actually more interested in the cosmic phenomena in this region than your technology. However, if you'd like to engage in scientific exchange, we'd be delighted to share our findings. The casual offer stunned the War Council. The humans were proposing cooperation rather than demanding submission or offering surrender. What do you want from the Empire? Kexler asked directly. Honestly, we want to understand your civilization. We've detected the energy signatures of thousands of your ships across multiple star systems. You've clearly achieved impressive technological and organizational capabilities. From our perspective, meeting new intelligences is always an opportunity for mutual growth. Intelligence Chief Morthic activated a private channel to the Admiral. Sir, their approach is completely unprecedented. No species has ever offered partnership before demonstrating our supremacy. Dr. Park continued speaking. Admiral, I have a proposal. Rather than this somewhat tense long-distance conversation, would you be willing to send a small delegation to our ship? We can provide a tour of our technology and explain our civilization's goals. In return, perhaps some of your scientists would like to visit our research labs? The suggestion sent shockwaves through the command center. Voluntary boarding of an alien vessel violated every Imperial security protocol ever written. Doctor, Kexler said carefully, your previous encounter with our forces demonstrated capabilities that make such exchanges complicated. You mean the adaptive countermeasures? Admiral, those systems exist precisely because we prefer not to fight. When someone points weapons at us, we develop ways to neutralize those weapons without causing casualties. It's actually much more efficient than destroying things. Dr. James Chun, who had been quietly working at a console, looked up. Admiral, if I may, your Empire's technology is built around concepts of overwhelming force and standardized systems. It's very impressive for maintaining order across vast distances. Our technology evolved differently. We focus on adaptation and problem solving. Neither approach is inherently superior, but they complement each other remarkably well. This was too much for Fleet Commander Dex Lara. Admiral, they're discussing our military capabilities as if they were academic subjects. This species shows no proper respect for Imperial authority. Dr. Park's expression grew thoughtful. Commander, respect is something that grows from understanding. We respect your Empire's achievements organizing and maintaining peace across 14 star systems is extraordinary. But we've learned that lasting cooperation requires mutual respect, not submission. Admiral Kexter found himself confronting a fundamental question that the Empire had never had to address. What happened when they encountered a species that was neither inferior nor hostile, but simply different? After a long pause, he made a decision that would reshape Imperial policy for generations to come. Dr. Park, I will send our Chief Science Officer, Kilmish, to your vessel. In return, you may send one representative to our research station. This exchange will be conducted under full diplomatic protocols. Excellent, Dr. Park's smile brightened. I think you'll find this the beginning of a very productive relationship. As the communication ended, Admiral Kexter realized that the Empire was entering uncharted territory. For 3 centuries, they had expanded by conquering or absorbing lesser civilizations. The humans represented something entirely new, a species that could match their capabilities while offering partnership instead of demanding submission. Hours later, scientist Kilmish reported back from the human vessel with observations that challenged everything the Empire thought they knew about technology and civilization. Admiral, she transmitted excitedly, their ship is extraordinary. Every system is designed to adapt and evolve. They don't just use technology, they grow it. Their computers learn from experience. Their materials repair themselves, their weapons develop new capabilities based on whatever threats they encounter. Meanwhile, Dr. Chun was aboard the Imperial Research Station, examining Zephyrian technology with obvious admiration. Your power generation systems are incredibly efficient. He told the assembled Imperial scientists. We've been working on similar concepts, but your crystalline matrices achieve energy densities we've only theorized about. The humans' genuine enthusiasm for Imperial achievements created an unprecedented atmosphere of collaboration, rather than competition. Admiral Kexter watched the proceedings with growing amazement. Instead of the typical first contact scenario submission, resistance, or conflict, the humans had created something entirely new. Voluntary technological exchange between equals. Sir, Intelligence Chief Morthic reported, initial analysis suggests that combining our technologies could produce capabilities far beyond what either species has achieved alone. Their adaptive systems could make our standardized equipment incredibly more versatile. And their assessment of our capabilities? They seemed genuinely impressed by our organizational achievements and power systems. Dr. Chun described our empire as an impressive demonstration of how to maintain stability and prosperity across vast distances. As the day continued, something unprecedented began happening throughout the Imperial fleet. Instead of preparing for war, ships began preparing for cooperation. Scientists started composing research exchange proposals. Engineers began designing hybrid systems that combined Imperial reliability with human adaptability. By evening, Admiral Kexter found himself composing a report to Imperial High Command that he never thought he would write. The humans represent not a threat to be eliminated, but an opportunity to be embraced. Their technology and ours complement each other perfectly. Their approach to exploration and cooperation offers possibilities we have never considered. I recommend immediate establishment of formal diplomatic relations and technological exchange. Agreements. As he sealed the transmission, Kexter realized that the Empire's age of expansion through conquest might be ending. In its place, an age of growth through cooperation was beginning. The humans had done something no species in Imperial history had accomplished. They had changed the Empire's mind about what was possible. On the bridge of the Endeavor, Dr. Park looked at the tactical display showing Imperial and human ships working together on joint research projects. Captain Martinez was right, she told Dr. Chun. Sometimes the best way to make friends is to show them something they've never seen before. What's that? A choice. We gave them the choice between conflict and cooperation. Most civilizations, once they see both options clearly, choose cooperation. Dr. Chun nodded, watching as Imperial and human shuttles moved between ships, carrying scientists and engineers, eager to learn from each other. So, what's our next move? Dr. Park smiled. As she looked at the star charts, showing the vast unexplored regions beyond Imperial space. We keep exploring, but now we're not alone. We have partners. The age of human expansion into the galaxy had begun not with conquest, but with friendship. And in the years to come, the phrase, "it's not in our records," would become a celebration. Rather than a concern, a reminder that the universe still held infinite possibilities for those brave enough to embrace the unknown. Asterisk.